Hello everybody and welcome to the Monday Miniatures Ramble for Monday the 25th of September 2017 with me, Dakian, and presenting the last of the Reaper Bones Giants. Well, for now at least. There's more in the pipeline. All these giants that I've painted in this project have been ones that originated in the very first Bones Kickstarter, the Bones 1, which I did not back, so I bought these after the fact, so to speak. I did back Bones 2, but that didn't include any giants at all for some reason. However, Bones 3, which I again did not back, had a bunch of giants, which have not yet been put up for sale, for general sale on Reaper's site. But they're starting to trickle out. They've got some of them in their preview section now, so within the next few months maybe they will show up. And I'll probably buy them and paint them up. But anyway, what about these guys? Well, the Cloud Giant, I could have done the hair whiter in hindsight. It's a little bit close to the skin, but otherwise I'm quite pleased with how she turned out. Yeah, kind of subtle effect. And the Storm Giant, again, the green of the hair and the skin, I think I've clearly separated the tones a bit better in this case, and I painted the armor in a more advanced way with different tones. I mean, let me show you my old Storm Giant, which I painted the purple skin version. So you can see here the armor is just plain bronze, and I didn't do anything else with it. In the new one, I've advanced and painted the panels slightly differently. So I finished these two. I also finished this guy, the Thousand Suns Sorcerer, which I painted sort of like the GW paint job. Same basic color scheme. And well, I'm reasonably happy with him. The transfers, the decals are of course always the bane of my existence. I'm not looking forward to putting all the decals on the shoulder pads of the guys that I'm going to show you next. As for works in progress, furthest along in progress are the Smurfs. Well, they're going to be Crimson Fists. For now, there's no crimson on them. They're just in their basic blue, and I have begun painting all the metallic bits on them. Well, not all of them. There's a few studs and rivets on, for example, the gloves, but I gotta paint the crimson on that first before I can do the metallic, which is on top. Otherwise, painting around the metallic would be really, really tedious. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to say really about these guys. I'll talk more about them when they're done, I think. But I also have a few other Space Marines on the way. And here we have the Assault Marines, which are only have the blue color so far, and these, as you can see, have been assembled in pieces. We have the Marine, most of the guys is one piece. We have the jump packs, the jetpacks as one piece, and the bases is another. Now the bases are finished. The bases are essentially done, and this gives you a clue as to how the bases. I want to make the bases for the other Marines similar. The difference is going to be that these have some extra grit on them, like extra dirt blown onto them. If you can see just the gray parts and the faded yellow lines, that's what I want for the tactical marine spaces, and not this extra stuff. Anyway, I'm not sure if it shows up on camera, but these turn out a little bit darker. This is because I was experimenting with the method of laying down this blue color. And I don't want to tell you the exact recipe because it's not finished. I mean, this is still a work in progress, trying to figure out the best method. I'm not going to... I mean, I can tell you that it's sort of a combination of doing a shaded undercoat, a sort of pre-shaded primer job, some extra shading with direct enough nightshade, some edge highlighting with white, and some airbrush glazing with this color, transparent blue from Vallejo. What's different between the Assault Marines and the Tactical Marines is the exact order of things I did and how much of each I did. And I'm not entirely pleased with either result. This is a technique that still needs work before I can sort of announce to the world how you should do it if you want a good result. Yeah. These turned out, like I said, a bit dark, but oh well. I mean, there will be brighter spots added of other colors, so I'm hoping it's going to be okay to just have a really dark blue background for the other colors, the spot colors. Yeah. And that's all the works in progress. Well, the ones that have been started to any extent. Now, once more, I actually have 0 new stuff to show you. No new arrivals at all, which is, I suppose, good for my numbers. So I'm instead closing out this episode by showing you new projects, simply new stuff to place in the painting queue. And as I advertised, I want to finish off these last 2 of my 40k minis, and I've started by simply getting them off the sprues and cleaning them up. You know, cleaning away mold lines. Relatively few mold lines, actually. These were very well put together. These are multiple piece minis, which of course probably made it easier to hide the mold lines. And as I said, I prepped the scenic bases. I've been thinking a little bit about how much I need to assemble before painting. Now on, I think his name is Cranon, I will probably put on the cloak because it's not... The stuff that's going to be hidden by that, nobody's going to see anyway. It's the little cracks underneath and behind. I'll just pour in some really dark color there and call it done. The backpack I'll probably leave off. I'm not sure about the arms. We'll have to take a look at that. For Balthasar, definitely leaving off the backpack. The rest of it, this guy is more difficult because this whole front piece snaps on, and that looks okay. That looks, if I just assembled that, it would be okay to paint without obscuring anything. However, the issue is I can't really put on the head afterwards. The head goes in, has to be put in at the same time as I add this piece on. And if I have the head on and the sword, then the front of the helmet and the back of the sword are both obscured. So this might be a really tricky, like a 4-piece painting job, which, oh well, guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, after completing these, or rather, once I get started on these, what else am I gonna do? Well, I have another project in mind, which is something I showed you arriving a while back, and it's this guy. The last of the bones. Well, the last of... Now that I've finished the giants, this is the only Bones Mini currently in my possession. Currently, I say, because actually there's a couple more winging their way to me in a shipment from Reaper as we speak. But I'd like to try to keep ahead of the curve by starting this guy. And the reason I've not done him before is because this is definitely a project that needs a lot of airbrushing. And of course I didn't have the airbrush or the facility with it before. But this is in my to-do list now. And also, well, the thing I picked out for it, there is a scene, sort of a part of a scenic base included. You see here this thing, but it's rather small for this big mini. So I'm thinking I want to glue this onto something bigger. And what do you know? I have something bigger. If you go back a lot of weeks, you'll have a video where I posted that I backed a Kickstarter for MDF bases for minis, and that I bought a lot of these larger size. These are like, what is this? Let's... It's 130 millimeters across. That's big. Really big. Not a lot of minis need that, but possibly this size or one of the oval will work for the other huge minis I have. I've got, if you recall, do I have them close at hand? No. Well, somewhere around here, I've got that huge metal Tyrannosaurus Rex from Reaper, not Bones material, in metal. That thing is heavy. And it could probably use a base of these proportions. But anyway, that's a little glimpse into my mind as concerns projects going forward. And with that, I'll close out this episode saying please like this video, share it, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Dakian, signing off.